On the morning of 14th July 1789, the city of Paris was in the state of alarm. The king had commanded troops to move into the city. Rumors spread that he would soon order the army to open fire upon the citizens. So, on the morning of 14 July 1789, in the city named as Paris, was a state in alarm, and the king of the Paris had commanded their troops, that means their officers, to move into the city, and rumors were spread that he would order the army to open fire in the upon the citizens. Some 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town hall and decided to form a people's militia. They broke into a number of government buildings in search of arms. So, around 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town hall and decided to form a people's group, and they broke into a number of government buildings in search of arms so that they can protect themselves from the troops. Finally, a group of several hundred people marched towards the eastern part of the city and stormed the fortress prison, the Bastille, where they hoped to find hoarded ammunition. So finally, a group of several hundred people, they marched towards the eastern part of the city, and they stormed in the building of the prisoners, that is the Bastille, where they hoped to find some weapons. In the armed fight that followed, the commander of the Bastille was killed and the prisoners released, though there were only 7 of them. So the commander of the Bastille was killed and the prisoners or the culprits were released from the jail, though there were only 7 of them. Yet the Bastille was hated by all because it stood for the despite power of the king. The fortress was demolished and its stone fragments were sold in the market to all those who wished to keep a souvenir of its destruction. So, yet the Bastille was hated by all the people because it stood against the power of the king, and the fortress was destroyed and its stone fragment were or you can say the stones of the buildings were sold in the market to those who wanted to purchase the stone. The days that followed saw more rioting both in Paris and the countryside. So on the 14th January, not January, the 14th July, the people have seen the destruction both in the Paris and the countryside or outskirts of the Paris. Most people were protesting against the high price of bread. So the common people were protesting against the high price of bread because bread was their staple diet. Much later, when historians looked back upon this time, they saw it as the beginning of the chain of events that ultimately lead to the execution of the king in France, though most people at that time did not anticipate this outcome. How and why did this happen? So many historians at that time, they look back and they thought that whatever the king had done in the Paris, uh, it would lead to the beginning of different kinds of events which finally led to the destruction of the king in France. So now in the next video we will discuss how the king came to the power, what were his strategies and what he did, so due to which the normal citizens were against him and all.